Oh, the camera rolling?
Yeah, it's been rolling.
Oh, Father God, we just thank you for this day. My name is Calvin Wainright. I'm a product of the Kansas City, Missouri School District. I was born in 1953, back in the day where, we were still dealing with black and white issues. And, you know, um, my grandfather kind of raised us, and my father went to jail. He went to prison when I was like 9 years old. And so during that time, my mother, a single mom of seven, and I'm the oldest of seven. I mean, she put me in everything you can think of where there were men. I was a part of the Rotary Camp, the Boys Clubs, the Boy Scouts, the campfire, you name it. Mom put me around men to help me become a man. And so I still remember so many guys like Alvin Clark, Coach Woods, Coach Stringer from the Boys and Girls Club, YMCA, taking karate classes, Bubbles Kleiss down there at Gateway Boxing Club, because Mama put me down there because I had an anger issue. And so I was also into boxing. At the age of 9, like I said, my dad went off to the penitentiary. Mom moved us down to Wayne Minor in 1964. I lived on the fifth floor, 911 Michigan. And so I went to Woodland Elementary School. And at Woodland, we had a old white guy, man, from down in out in Olathe that used to come down in the neighborhood and gather up basketball players. When I was in the fifth grade, he got us together, and I remember these ugly uniforms. We had some shiny gold shorts with a burgundy stripe down the side and a black jersey and some burgundy socks. And he would take us out to Olathe and play basketball. The first year, we didn't win a game. But the second year, sixth grade, we went undefeated. And from there, basketball was something that I kind of enjoyed, but my love was football and baseball. Growing up right there at Manual High School, um, played football. Football made all state, all city. Was even honorable mention with the All American team and everything. And so I thought football was going to be my college ticket. But then I also loved baseball. Growing up, we played with Frank White and some other legends of baseball right here in Kansas City. Bullet Rogan, he lived in Wayne Minor. Bullet Rogan, he was one of those Kansas City Monarchs that really helped young black kids back then. So we kind of went to him a lot and learned a lot of things. And even on the fifth floor, we drew a square, and in that square we would play strikeout right up there on our floor. So football, baseball, basketball. I even loved swimming during that time. I even played golf. I played, tennis. We played anything with a ball back then. Um, they used to have sports camps out at Southeast High School all the time, every summer, and every week they would highlight a different sport. And so that was our interest. And then Mom sent me to Flint, Michigan, every summer. And while I was in Flint, I would play against people like Terry Furlow. Magic Johnson was a young man during that time, so I played a lot of basketball with those guys up north.
You played against Magic.
I used to dog Magic back then in the day.
The one who
Magic,
Magic.
Irving Magic Johnson. Yeah, but Terry Furlow, he had to hold me. He had to hold me. He couldn't hold me. Right now, I'm gonna tell you right now. If I turn back the clock, LeBron James would have a problem with me right now. You know what I mean? But that was basketball was my love. I fell in love with basketball along the way because they gave me a ticket. Football. I went down to Jackson State for just a little walkthrough. Who was Walter Payton in 1971? He was a freshman. I would have been his quarterback if I went to Jackson State. So you think about the balls that we play with, the things that can generate success. But I came back. I mean, I didn't know him. He was a freshman. Who would have thought that legend? Legends are not born right then. He worked his way into it being a legend. But I mean, he might have been a bad man back then, but I was a bad man too. So when it comes to the sports, whatever you put in, that's what you get out. And in every sport, I put forth the effort, in everything, And then when I went off to Lincoln U, well, let me go back. I went to a junior college down in Jacksonville, Texas. They still had black and white signs up. So I went down there and, I was ready. I was playing.
What you mean black?
It was a racial thing. It was a racial thing. They still had black only, white only signs up. And so all that, even in the movie theaters, blacks had to sit in the balcony. And so I had to get out of there because I knew they was going to tar and feather me or hang me. And so I transferred to Lincoln U. I called down there to Coach Dwight and asked him, is that scholarship still open? He said, get on down there. So I immediately enrolled down to Lincoln U, second semester. And when I got there, the coach, he never seen me play basketball. Coach Reed wanted me to play football, but my thing was basketball at that time. And there were several freshmen down there, and we had homeboys from Kansas City that was there. They said, homie, go on over there and beat them. I said, line them up. And one by one, they failed. And so I had a nice career down Lincoln U. And then I came home. When I came home, it was like all of us, man, the hoop, we all had a dream. And so I lied on this application, and I tried out for this European team. And it was a big man camp. And so I went up to Emporia State University and tried out. When I walked in there, they all looked at me because there I am, 6'3", and everybody in there 6'9" and above. They said I was in the wrong place, but then there was a player named Adrian Dantley that was 6'5", that played inside. So I felt that I was just like him. I was hard. And so I played. I tried out. Didn't make it. Came home. The real world. The real world. Well, what we did was we started a team called United Brothers. And the brothers, Charlie Parker, Crop, we had players from right here in the metropolitan area that played college basketball. And we formed an AAU team that used to go and play against the Big 12 best, whatever, in AAU. And we would dominate. We went to several national tournaments and played in semi-pro tournaments. And we just had fun. Then the real world. I had to get a job. So I drove a truck for about 7 years, and that helped me really grow as a man. But then I was also selfish too. I was married, but I still wanted to hoop. And we played in tournaments every weekend growing up. Here I am, 24, 25, 26, 28, playing ball, driving a truck. Yeah, because I left out my family around that time. I was married, had a set of twins, and I was always gone. So I wasn't the father that I am now, that I can confess that I am now with my daughters. I paid child support for like 20 years because I left their mom when I was 1. Either I was gonna be dead or I was gonna be in the penitentiary. That's real. So then after the truck, I started thinking that this is not what I want to do. And so a position opened up at the YMCA, and I started working at the YMCA. I worked at the Boys and Girls Club part-time, the YMCA part-time, and then a position opened up at Don Bosco. And believe me, I jumped on it. And so that started a whole new life for me because the passion of giving back. It wasn't about the money, but I saw so many young people that was living the same life as me. Growing up, daddy's not at home, daddy's abusive, mom working 2 or 3 jobs trying to survive and make sure we had food to eat. Those were the things that I saw in the young people that I worked with when I was at Don Bosco. And then it also took me back home where it all started, right there in Wayne Minor. There were 6 developments right there in Wayne Minor, T.B. Watkins, Charlie Parker, Riverview, Doughnut, Shoto, all those places right there where I had a heart for, I had a passion for, just digging in, working with the ones that people have always put to the side, and where those people are put to the side, those are the same people that Jesus Christ worked with even though I didn't realize it then, it was ministry. And I want to make sure that the young people that I was dealing with had hope. They had hope. They had to succeed. A brother asked me, am I successful? And that question, and he asked me that in the church, and I was saved during that time. And I asked him, I said, when you talk about success, are you talking about how many young men that you have saved from the penitentiary, or how many young men that have been shot, how many men that graduated from high school, how many men that went on to college and graduated from college, how many men went to the Air Force or the Army and Navy? The level, how do you measure success?
What about the women?
The women that was in my life,
I'm saying,
we dealt with girls, because there's one I can't shake right now. Natalie knew. I can't shake her right now, because she was a part of the family, and what we created in the north end of Kansas City was a family atmosphere. I worked with some good people from the other community centers down there. When you look at the north end, you see community centers like Don Bosco, Wayne Minor, Climate Center, Greg Center, whatsoever, Likings. You had Salvation Army. You had all those community centers right there in that neighborhood. And during that time, all of us used to work together up under an umbrella called YouthNet, and where we would get together and we would meet, and we would do things that would create opportunity for young people, career development. Excuse me.
does it still exist?
Those community centers are still there, but they're not working on the capacity as it used to be due to funding, or even people that are running their centers right now. They built that brand new community center down there at Greg Center, and a lot of people say, we build it, they will come. People don't come. You can go down to Greg Center on any given day, and you got 5 people in the gym. That's unheard of. That's unheard of. So when you create opportunities for our young people, you have to be man enough or woman enough to go out there and reach them, touch them, meet them, form relationships. And I think during that time, I didn't have a problem talking to the gangbanger, the wannabe thugs, because remember, when you're dealing with housing developments, there's some negative elements there too. And I dealt with the negative elements. We took our groups to the county jail for tours. We took them to Mobley Penitentiary for tours. We took them on UMKC campus. We took them to KU for college tours. We went to Lincoln U's homecomings. We wanted our kids to see success. But if they're going down this level of failure or destruction, then I wanted them to see where that would lead to also. So,
Like,
when I was a child, like I said, my mother used to send me to Flint, Michigan every summer, and so there were men up there, my uncles that had electrical company. There were successful men, black men that worked for General Motors. Men that didn't mind spilling on you in your chest, or giving you a whooping or cracking you upside your head when you needed it. But then there was also some positive influences that I was around constantly. Going to the Boys and Girls Club when they first built 43rd Street. They had people up there, Mr. Burks, they had Mr. Palmer, they had so many people up there. One day I was in a workshop, and that question came out, what man influenced me to be a better man than I am now? And I what I did was I drew a tree, and on that tree, on every limb, I named a man. And I think it was like 75 men that I named, that I remember. I still remember Mr. Jones. He was my Cub Scout leader. And so being a part of those things every day kind of kept my mind straight. Like I said, growing up, we had to fight, and I didn't mind fighting. I didn't mind talking. I didn't mind doing things, and I never was afraid. And when you're growing up and you have other men that are in your life, and believe me, moms can do that. And when you have a strong mother, like I had, my mother passed a couple of weeks ago, and when you I think back on the things that she used to do, and those words, "I brought you in, I take you out." They still linger in my mind. So growing up, I think we grew up not even thinking we were poor, even though we had commodities and we had, not real expensive things. I asked the question, if my mother was living right now, would she buy me a pair of Jordans? And I know the answer right off top, because we love to have our lights on, and moms love to have food in the refrigerator. I would never own a pair of Jordans if my mother was living and raising me up. That shouldn't be wearing Jordans. I believe in awarding success. Bad grades, that's not success. Bad behavior, that's not success. So you have a lot of young people right now that are being spoiled, being brought all these expensive things, but then they don't have nothing to show the reason why.
But aside
I believe in rewarding, but then we have to compromise.
from that, like
Can I
prices
afford?
up and stuff.
If I can't afford $180 pair of shoes, believe me, my son, my daughter would not be wearing them. My boys right now, with them growing up, I never brought them a pair of Jordans. I would give them $100, and then I had one son. He would go buy two pair of shoes when I think it was Just for Feet or one of them. You can buy two pair for 89 or 72. He would go buy one pair, buy him some t-shirts, and buy him some socks. Where my other two sons, they were like, "Daddy, can I borrow 45?" You better wait till the next one. Because right now you talking about $300 for tennis shoes, three ways. They learned the right way. My dad, he sold heroin for the Italians, and when I was about 14 years old, they rolled up on me. They used to come by the house while my dad, they rolled up on me. When my dad went off to the penitentiary, they used to come by and give mom something, to help us. But then one day, I think I was like 14, maybe 15, they rolled up on me and they asked me, "I want to be like my daddy." And so I want y'all to excuse me for about what I'm about to say. I said, hell no, because look where my daddy is. My dad did 25 years in the penitentiary. And when he got out, he was dead within 2 months. Down at the Green Duck, hanging out, drunk, under the influence, trying to make up for that lost time. And him and a guy got into a fight, and he hit his head on the sidewalk, went to the hospital, and left the hospital, and went to sleep on my auntie's porch and didn't wake up. So those things right there, those images in my mind. I have two cousins that were executed in the state of Arkansas. No, I have one cousin right now that's looking for the hard 40. I have one partner. I have so many partners that went the wrong way. And believe me, living in the hood, living in Wayne Minor, living off 12th Street, you can come across all kind of things. And my pathway will go down Woodland. I will go down Woodland. And if I go straight down Woodland, I'm going to hit Greg Center. I'm going to hit the Boys Club. I'm going to hit the Coaches Council. I'm going to hit the swimming pool down there in Parade Park. But if I go to the right, there's some partners, man, that was slanging. There was some partners that was getting high. There was some partners, man, that was pimping. There was some people, I hung out on 12th Street. I went to the pool halls, but I knew when to come home, because one of my best friends growing up, he came by and he wanted my pillowcase, and he was going to rob the office. And I gave him my pillowcase. He came back, gave me $50. And you know what? He's still in the penitentiary. He's still there. So life growing up, I wanted to be, I knew I wanted to go to college. I knew that I wanted to play professional baseball, football, basketball, something. I wanted to be a professional. And so there was nothing stopping me. We had some of the best schools back then. We had coaches that really cared. My high school coach at Manual High School was Coach Madison. In 1971, we won. Yes, we won state championship. In 1971, we had the Duranian Trophy winner Felix German. We had all the things. Who's Felix German? One of the baddest dudes in the city, in the nation. Chief went on to go to MU. I went to Lincoln U. And then after my sophomore year, Chief messed up his knee up in the NIT up in New York, and he transferred to Lincoln U. And he ended up making all conference there, even with a jacked up knee. So we that's Cat Daddy's brother. Yeah. So my childhood, I know I probably had about 100+ fights growing up. I called a friend not too long ago, and I said, "Man, you remember you got your finger cut off?" He said, "Calvin, you remember you kicked my butt when we was in the 8th grade?" And I'm like, "Wow." But we're friends now.
Y'all was knuckling up?
Knuckle up. We wasn't,
How did you lose?
I probably lost my share. I never got knocked out or nothing like that, but I know I had a couple of knockouts to go on my belt.
No guns.
Yeah, no guns. No, because all of us, we grew up together. We'll fight today, and we might be shooting marbles in the dirt later on, or over there on our outdoor courts, or down at Gregg Center, or someplace. We're gonna be at school together tomorrow and be the best of friends. That's the way we was brought up. We had a thing of conflict resolution, where we had boxing gloves. We had Friday night fights, man. Where if we have any beef with anybody, if we had conflict with anybody, the gloves are right there. Put the gloves on and get it over with it. Get it over with. Get it out of your system.
Can't even allow that.
Boy, I tried to watch boxing.
So I said, yeah,
Well, right now, me as a mentor, me as a dad, the things that brought me up, they didn't kill me. They didn't kill me. Me tagging you guys. Huh?
You still suggest
You going somewhere else.
Hey, all that we went to, all that we went through growing up, it didn't kill us or hurt us. It just made us better. And right now we have a group of young people that don't mind sinning after sinning after sinning after sinning. Doing wrong. You got young people that it's a revolving door at the juvenile system. It's a revolving door at the county jail. It's a revolving door at the penitentiaries that we have right now. So when is enough?
1 year.
Every year. Right now. There's some young people right now that I fellowship with that have been in and out of the county jail.
Say the year on camera.
The year of,
Just say today.
right now, this is 2015. February 2015, and even right now, excuse me, right now, 2015, I see 7 young men every day in my mind. 7 young men, 17, 18, 19, 20 years old, that's getting ready to go to jail for life. I see them every day. 2 of them was in the gym with me right before Thanksgiving hooping. They can play ball. They little bitty guys, and now they can ready to go to jail for life.
Not to cut you off. Because I remember one instance of somebody. How you feel about
I look at the reaction of adults, men, women, yeah, we want to be respected. But our young people right now, they need to know what love is all about, and then they need to be taught respect. Some of them can't even spell the word respect, not unless they sing in Aretha Franklin, But our young people, they deserve to be respected because they going through some of the same things that all of us went through. But then you look at some adults, they think they holier than holy, and now they look down on a young person, and some of them might look down at me now because I got on this red shirt and this red hat. I don't sag. I don't. My T-shirt be tucked in because I'm have a shirt on, but don't look at a young person because they sagging or a white T-shirt on or their hat cocked. Don't look at them sideways, because if you look back to your lifestyle, some of you women, y'all wore mini skirts with fishnets. Some of you guys, y'all wore diamond rings, and y'all went to the crap house, or y'all went to the gambling boat, wherever. Y'all did some things back there that is stuck off in the closet. Me, I don't mind being transparent. But what I did learn is to keep it away from the people, man, that I love the most. My daughters, they thought I was a square. But my basement, I painted it red. And I had a sign going down the steps, "You are now entering hell." So my daughters, they never saw me drunk. They never saw me smoke weed. They didn't come to hell. They didn't come down there. The young guys that I mentored and coached back in the day, they didn't know that. I told a couple of them when they were like 19, when they became of age, I shared some things with them that they never knew. I adopted a young man. And the things that, we did in our home, it stayed in our home, but I never did anything in the house with him. If I was going to do it, he might be in the house by himself, and I was gone. Then I'll come home, he's in bed, and I'll do whatever I need to do for that year and a half that he stayed with me, And when I told him some of my habits, he couldn't believe it. Me as a man, when I turned 40, when my son Ishmael was born, I rededicated my life to Christ. And so Ishmael's 20 now. So for the last 21 years, believe me, I haven't had a beer, haven't had a joint, haven't had a desire to do anything, because I didn't want him growing up the way Daddy did. And to keep all that madness from them. And everything that we do is all about purity. I wanted him to have success written all over his life. I asked him, what kind of house you want? And shoot, we got 5 bedrooms, we got a swimming pool. I want 10 bedrooms, I want 15 bathrooms. He want a fleet of cars. And so right now he's at Baylor University. My youngest son, what kind of car you want? Shoot, what you got, Durango? I want a Hummer. He named all the things he want. And he's in school up at Penn Valley now. So, we as fathers, we as men, if you go back and rediscover the principles of being a man, share them with your boys.
Hey, that side of you to the youth you were working with, because nowadays they'll say that you're fake. That's not real. You're not showing who you are. What made you stay away from showing all the youth that side of you?
When a lot of our young people, they will witness that stuff when they go home. They witness that stuff on the corner. They witness that stuff. They got guys that will wake up every day down in Charlie Parker. They press their white T-shirts and they be out there doing those things. So if I can keep all the negativity that I can and keep them in a positive atmosphere, then that makes life that much better. They see it every day. And so I don't want them to see that through me. I wanted to maintain, really I was at work. I didn't want to get fired for one, and then I didn't want them. And then believe me, when I learned who Jesus Christ was in my life, believe me, I wanted to be the best example. Because when you have Jesus Christ in your life, you become that walking Bible.
So you didn't have Jesus Christ in your life
Till I was 40, and let's go back. I was brought up Catholic. And so I had the principles of Jesus Christ. They're embedded in you because, you teach them young. And all those things stayed in. But when it comes to reality, no, man, let me tell you. sin didn't become. I didn't understand what sin was. As long as I wasn't hurting nobody, as long as I was producing, as long as I was doing things that were productive, even when I remember night hoops used to play games at 12 o'clock and 1 o'clock at night. And after I dropped off the last person, I would go to the after hour joint. You know, and no. I knew who Jesus Christ, by myself. I knew who Jesus Christ was. I had a wife, and yeah, during that time, I've been married 4 times. And so during those times before 40, I had 2 wives. And one of them got kind of fed up with those late nights, because sometimes, dropping people off, I'll get home at 2 o'clock, 2:30, all those kind of things. No, because when I got married to their mom, that's when 1994, I got baptized. It was watch night service at Grace Fellowship Christian, and I went up under, and I rededicated my whole life back to Christ, back to my family. I wanted things the right way. But then even in the midst of that, their mom left me when they were 4 and 5 years old. She walked out. And so what did I do? Hey, you know what? I can't even, today, I can't even tell you. Maybe it was because I was staying, I was hooping. I was still playing by myself. And then I was coaching and, working. I was doing all those kind of things. And she had made this statement that I took away her youth. And she left me with 2 boys. And you know what? Didn't stop a beat. Then God sent me an angel 2 years later. And me and her, we've been married since, 13 years now. Like I said, the boys were 4 and 5. They 20 and 19 now. And they love my wife because she was the one that was instrumental in they day-to-day. She would sit them at the table, tutor them, feed them, bathe them, make sure the bed linen was clean.
They got any after them?
No, don't want no more. Don't want no more. I mean, them 2 right there, man. Shoot. No, you gotta remember, man, I'm 61 years old now. And so, I'm ready to get my 2-seater and just chill. Be like you. Just chill. Yeah. Mercedes. Yeah. 78, 1978. No, they too little.
We getting the CL.
Yeah,
they got one for us.
No.
They know it's giants.
I don't want a 500 SEL, man.
Got the cool for us.
Not a big one. No, Mike.
CL.
Have to see it. But I love that 78 and 79. I have a picture. It's on my mantle. In a frame. This is my dream car.
Right, tough. What year is it?
78, 79.
1979.
Mm-hmm. 500 SEL.
500.
You're right. You can get the historical plates and everything.
Man, you want the tank.
So you saying even at 61, it's still okay to dream.
I have vision.
And have vision.
Yeah. And my thing is, just like I coach a little team now, and my prayer with them all the time that none of them will go through the system. I don't want none of my kids that I deal with to get a parking ticket, a speeding ticket, no kind of ticket. I want them to go from here to there, 0 to 60, with a clean slate. A policeman stopped me several years back, and he said, "Mr. Wainright, you're not even in the system. Why should I be in the system?" You know, why should I be in the system, man?
I was
You
sure
know,
about to ask. So you saying it's possible, basically?
it is
You
possible.
don't just see this for them.
Yeah,
You
yeah. If you go by the rules, if you follow the rules, you shouldn't have any problems.
so it's
When,
not set up against us.
let me tell you.
Nothing set
Let me
up.
tell you. You know what I told the church yesterday? I'm anointed to be me.
Yeah,
If you're anointed to be you, you don't have nothing in your way. Nothing. You know, when I was in the 8th grade, we were tampering with some cars down on Truman Road, and St. Stephen's Church is right next door to the car lot, and somebody called the police on us, and you know, boom, we ran through the alley right behind on 13th and Paseo, and the police cornered us off, and they took us down to 11th and Locust. That one time, right there, you know, because what happened, Mama had to come and get me. Mama had extension cord with her. You know, whoopings back then was just discipline. You know, but when I heard them doors slam, that was the last time I had a problem with the policeman, because Mama whooped me from Locust to 10th and Woodland, and you better not run. And so I know when I got home, when I looked at my back, yeah, I was whipped and everything, looking like Kuta Kinte. You know, but I never had desire to be like my daddy.
You saying
It wasn't child abuse. It wasn't child abuse. Like I said, you know, abuse is one thing, but discipline is another. You know, some people can get over excessive beatings.
I'm saying you had whelps on your back.
I had them all on my arms.
That's abuse to that.
That's what I'm
Back then, it was discipline. Back then, it was discipline. You know, even us getting swats by the principal, the counselor, the coaches, the teachers back then. You know, that right there,
Discipline has turned into abuse.
more or less. But then you have some parents that take it overboard. You know, you have some people that take it way
What's
over.
overboard?
Overboard. No, a board or you know, fishing rod, whatever. All that pistol whooping your 15-year-old because he's carrying a gun, or you know, selling drugs. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Give him an uppercut,
So now,
straight to the chin.
Like my mother, I'm 6. I'll swell up on her, you know, like, okay for her to grab a board?
At your age right now,
Or just size-wise?
size-wise, you know what?
No, not thinking teenagers.
But the word respect. Let's go back to respect. You know, my mother slapped me when I was 35 because I said shit. I never cussed in front of my mom, but at 35 years old, she reared back and slapped me, and I took it like a champ because I respected my mom. You know, we was taught how to respect authority. Right now, our young people, they raising themselves, they feeding themselves, they clothing themselves. They decide if they want to go to church, they decide if they want to go to school because of the laws. You know, I don't believe in corporal punishment. You know, I don't believe in that. You know, I believe in rehabilitation, and rehabilitation can be, you know, I'm taking your iPhone, I'm taking your music out of your room, I'm taking your TV out of your room, give me your cell phone. When you come home, I want you home at 4 o'clock. You know, believe me, my 19-year-old, when he drives my car during the week, he has a curfew. 11 o'clock, I want that truck parked in the driveway. You know, on the weekends, I want that truck parked at 1:30 at night, because after that, I lock up my door. No. But Daddy, can I spend the night? Yeah, you can spend the night with so-and-so, but that truck, I want to hear. Because one thing, after a certain time, you know, I still believe in the freaks come out at night. And so freaky things happen after those times. You know, when they set a curfew, it's a reason behind that. But then, who's the priest of your home? You know, who's the queen of your home? And so when you put that out there to our young people, they have to realize who is running this ship. And right now, you know, being a friend, yeah, I'm gonna be a friend with my sons, my daughters, and all that. But they know when to turn it off. My team, they know when to turn it off. You know, we could play, yeah, 'cause I want you to have fun. But when it's serious, no, we're gonna have serious time. Right now, young people don't look at, and the parents don't look at the seriousness of growing up. They don't look at it. You know, they live for today. You know, they don't even care if they here tomorrow because the way they shooting up and doing things now. Your mind over there thinking, man. You over there
I'm
thinking.
sitting here trying to figure out.
Hmm.
He ain't asking.
I
You know
cover them
what I
through
mean?
prayer. I come through prayer. And then with social media, I text them all the time, you know, scripture. And if you look at Ishmael's Facebook page, it's all about God. You know, for a 19-year-old to go and get baptized, for a 19-year-old to go and start taking theology classes.
Foundation set.
You know, the foundation was already there,
Yes.
you know, when he was born. This is the way God wants you. God made you to be great. You know, God made you. And so a lot of us as parents, we allow our kids to go out there and experiment things early. You know, they can't sit up there and tell me, Daddy, I don't like broccoli. You gonna eat this. You know, Daddy, I don't want no rice. You gonna eat this. You know, I wanna go. No, you gonna eat what's cooked on the table. You know, and once those foundations, once those standards have been placed in a young man's life, you know, Ishmael, man, he make the best French toast in the world. You know, I mean, where you get that recipe from, man? You know, IHOP, you know, but it's grandmother. You know, when young people learn things early in life, believe me, it's get better, just like wine, get better in time.
What about your girl?
My girls, they had a foundation. They had strong mothers. They had strong mothers that took them up under their wing and, and forced them to doing things that they probably didn't like at first, but now that they're mothers, they understand some of the things that's going on right now.
But like, I mean,
They know how to
you know,
respect. You know, when
aside from respect, like,
they know how to treat a woman.
how you help them find
Well, that's on their eyes, but you know the thing about it is that they want to respect our choices. You know, but then I want to respect their choices too. Um, I know Ishmael. He's in a relationship with a young lady that just graduated from Baylor. You know, so he see the good. But then what happens, and me and him talked about it before. Well, Daddy, you know, you've been good to Sandy, and so he know how to be good to a lady. You know, so you teach how to become a man. You know, that thing, the rites of passage from boyhood to manhood.
nah,
You
but
know,
help the ones who ain't got that.
how do we help the ones
What
that
you
don't have
gonna
that?
tell them what
Same thing.
is
You know
wrong,
what? When I talk to young men, when I talk to young men
and
and,
the young lady.
and young ladies too, you know, I want them to understand what the covenant of marriage is all about. I want them to understand what fornication. I want them to understand what immorality. I want them to understand what purity. I want them to understand the consequences of sex. You know, back then, sex was good. Now, sex kills. And so
So
with
sex wasn't killing back
no, you can go and get a shot. Like you get gonorrhea, you can just go get a shot. Now you have more STDs, you have HIV and AIDS, you have all these different things that, you know, chlamydia, all these different things that you know people are dying from. You know, they constantly dying from. They might say they had complications with pneumonia, but they dying from HIV. They dying from AIDS. They dying from all kinds. They died of cancer. Yeah, okay. But let's look at all the ladies that they been with, or look at all the men that they been with. So when I look at videos, and I got in my car today, and Ahmad has a video music thing where you can see videos.
YouTube.
Man, I'ma hurt him. I'ma hurt him because I didn't know how to turn it off, man. And it had booty bumping on there, man. And that, hold up, dude. And you know, people talk about drinking and driving,
Yeah,
booty
worse.
bumping
That's worse.
and driving. That's worse, man. You know, I'm riding and you can't help. You know, the screen is about that big, and it's right there. And I'm like, what? I'm getting him. He got to take that radio out and put my old radio back in. You know, you want to watch that stuff, look at it on your phone, man. Not in the car. You know, but the examples that you create, for our young people, you know, you have to make it intentional. You have to make it intentional for their success. You know, only thing I have to do, and with us right here in this room, you know, just look at our life. Look at our lives. All three of us, man, have really came up together, you know, kind of in the same temperament. You know, there might be some dynamics that might be different, but, you know, there's some things right there that are common. And we were all brought up in an area where, you know, people don't succeed. People die, go to jail. You know, people that we grew up with, you go up on 27th and Prospect, some of my partners, man, that's where they hang out at. 35th and Prospect, that's where some of my partners, that's where they hang out.
Tell these people who've
You know, transformation of the way you think, transformation of the way that you talk. You know, God wants us all to live in paradise right here on earth. You know, right here on earth. And so I can't see paradise behind a wall, behind bars, in an orange jumpsuit. I can't see paradise right there. Even though I have relatives that are, you know, locked up. One of my brothers, he's doing life in the penitentiary right now. But he's even making that situation like paradise. He's mentoring a lot of young people from Kansas City and St. Louis, right up there through Bible study. He's a barber up there. You know, just the knowledge that he has. He's 57 and he's still playing ball with them and talking to them. You know, the way you communicate with people will make life better. There's a lot of things that all of us can say to someone, but then if you have fear to talk to them because you might feel like they're going to reject you. Now, our young people, they want somebody that's not fearful, to come up there and interject some wisdom to them, wisdom, knowledge, and stature and understanding. That's what they want. You know, they can't get it at home. You know, they want structure. They go to school right now today, and the teachers are screaming at them, cussing at them. And, you know, some of them, we have some real good teachers, but there's some that they're agitated real quick. And then they go home, they agitated, you know, and all that. So our young people, they agitated by their coaches because some of the coaches just want to get that paycheck, or they frustrated, you know, just things. But if you have opportunity to interject to a young person's life, a man's life, a woman's life, you know, do it. You know, God has ordained all of us with the spirit of speech, you know, and the things that come out of your mouth. If they're positive, believe me, somebody's going to grab hold of something, you know, just like I told the church yesterday. You know, we all are the anointed. You know, we were all made in God's image. So when you're made in God's image, boom, that speaks volume all by itself. And then when you understand that you are anointed to be you, shoot, can't nothing stop me from being successful right now.
I got one more question.
All right.
Two.
Bullet Rogan.
He like used me.
Man, Bullet Rogan, he's in the Negro League Hall of Fame. Bullet Rogan, he lived on the 5th floor. As soon as you get off the elevator, his apartment was right there. And he would pull me in and you know, looking at all the memorabilia from him playing for the Monarchs. I mean, he would spit a lot of knowledge in us. And he had the pictures, his whole apartment was like a museum. He lived in high rise, 911 Michigan, and I think his apartment was like 5. I lived in 512. His probably like 506 or something like that. he helped us. We had baseball teams down in Wainright, and he helped get us some. And man, let me tell you, we had wool uniforms, wool. You know, it's 100 degrees and we wearing wool, brown with orange numbers on it. You know, but he was instrumental in us getting those. You know, he would come over and teach and show wool. YouthNet is something that I wish that Kansas City would bring back. You know, you look at products of YouthNet. Jermaine Reed. You know, he was a product of YouthNet, and when YouthNet opened up the brand new building downtown, they had a board table that seat probably about 20-something people, and we had Jermaine Reed and Tony Scott sit at both ends. Both of them were in tuxedos, and we told them one day they were going to be leaders of nations. And look at Jermaine now; he's a city councilman. And so with YouthNet, what it did was bring everybody. You know, not only through funding but also resources, where we as community leaders, we can help our young people see the light. You know, through YouthNet, we had entrepreneur programs, we had career development programs, we had the social skills. You know, we had all that. You know, because we had people that didn't have egos back then. Right now, you have people that are in the same position, but they have egos. You know, everybody's fighting after the same funds. YouthNet had the funds, Combat had the funds, the Kaufman had the funds, and they were distributed out to all the organizations if they do the work. We have people now, they have the buildings, they have the resources, but they do minimal. And for me, I think that we went beyond the minimum. You know, when you spend the whole day, I remember opening up the gym sometime, you know, on non-school days. You know, we had before and after school programs. We opened up the doors at 6:30. You know, people knew that they can come down to the gym and play from 10 to 12 or earlier. And then at 12, we break it down for lunch. The kids downstairs would be taking a nap. We open the gym back up at 3 o'clock, and sometimes we didn't get out till 9. And so, or later. I remember doing those hooping for the gold, and that was all night thing up in the gym. Yeah. And so, you know, God just gave me an opportunity, and you know, my young people back then, they didn't understand that I also used them as rehab. You know, with me having my habits and everything, you know, I mean, that was rehab. Whenever I was around them, I wasn't drinking. Whenever I was around them, I wasn't smoking. Whenever I was around them, I wasn't clubbing. Whenever I was around them, I wasn't cheating on my wife. Whenever I was around them, you know, I was healthy and I was wise. So.
Hey, he ended it with a bang.
I do got one more.
Come on, man.
The Bible's
Mm. No, tell me. You know, if you look at my license plates, it says I am CCW. You know, I am has always been about God. 1C is for Calvin, 1C is for Cassandra, and the W is Wainright. So it's all about God. And everything that I do when I go to work, when I'm at play, when I'm at coaching, when I'm fathering, or whatever it might be, it's all about God. You know, I try to make sure that ministry is in everything that I do. Jesus Christ is the center of my all day long. He's in the center. You know, even on my wedding band, you know, I have crosses on it. And, you know, I might want to slap somebody. I might want to cuss somebody. And I bring it all right back to him. Bring it all right back to him. because people are always watching. They watch every move. I said ass one day at practice. Before I got home, one of my parents called my wife. Pastor Calvin down here cussing people out. He hit me as soon as I walked in the door. You down there cussing? I said, no, I said ASS. Then I don't even say that. Yeah, because people are watching every move that you make.
Soften up though.
It's not
to say some stuff to us.
right. Right.
You changed though.
Yeah, a lot. But then think about the people that we were dealing with back then. We could say, sit down, Doughnut. Sit down, Michael. Michael turn around. He might say a cuss word or two. Or don't keep on shooting the ball, run around, and so Pooh, sit down, Oscar, sit down. They ain't just listen to, please sit down. Man, sit your butt down. I remember taking y'all behind that curtain down in Blue Valley. That was just a thing where I remember we was playing Rockhurst and Coach Colin. We was losing by like 5 at halftime. And the coaches back then used to bring their little paddles. Boy, you got to come through me. And before we went out the door, he swatted us. And so those are things that, and what you guys do, you go out there and take care of business. You go out there.
The impact is still the same.
It's all the same. My little guys, man, hey, when I talk to them, every eye is on me. Every eye. And look, this is the story I want you to put on there. I remember Will Parker and all them guys, man, we played out there in the Boys and Girls Club in the tournament. Them guys went over there, they looked at the schedule, the brackets and everything, and they said, we win, we just play 3 games. They looked at the competition. We won the first, we didn't even win the first game. They looked at, but if we lose, we play about 6 games. And they had some little, they looked at the thing, man.
It was brilliant.
Hey, man, all of them, him and Gary, all of them, they looked at it, man, and see, if we win, well, we lose, we play 3 games, and we can shoot some pool, we can sit out here and just hang out all day. And so these dudes lost. And we got down there, yeah, man, they got paid off. And got down here in the losers bracket. Look. Come on, man, go over there. Hey, man, Mike, we end up winning the championship game. We end up winning the championship game, man, by 30-something points, man.
What y'all do to the first game, Will?
We lost on purpose.
Lost on record.
We did. We lost on purpose, man.
But
we averaged about 50. We was beating teams for like 50.
Easy, man.
Easy. I mean, out to get first quarter, we was up by 40. Easy. But we stayed all day.
All day, man. All day.
Playing pool.
We had to go get food, everything, man.
Hey, not even realizing, the sacrifice he was making. Because we was selfish. We looked at that, man. I remember Zany saying, come on, Park. Because I was like, man, Zany, man, we can't do that. He said, come on, Park. We here all day. Then we started looking, man, it was nice. I still got the trophy at home. Blue Spring, I still got the trophy sitting. It's in my dad's house, sitting right there.
Yeah.
On his trophy case with the rest of my I got a few trophies sitting at my dad's house. It's real important to me. I got that one there, man. This guy right here, man.
Hey, man, me and Coach Hyde, man, we look at these dudes, man, how we lose, man? We just sitting
And here's the thing, that's the only game we ever lost. We never lost the game. That was the game we ever lost. And we did it on purpose.
On purpose, man. and those are the kind of people, when you talk about character, but when you talk about characters, man, that whole group of young people during that time, and my time at Bosco, all these guys, man, they are great men. You look at them now, man, they great men. Men of God, career men that, stayed away from the riprap. We have some that might be still indulging in some things, but they still look up to us, man, as a man to look up to.
Hey, man.
Put me on camera.
Yeah. Look, I'm going to come on camera one time.
Yeah. Lean down, man, for that seat.
I was gonna come up there.
Well, guess what? We don't lose on purpose. We gonna beat